Yo, what's good, everyone? How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of this podcast to kill you. This podcast may kill you, may not. I don't mean it literally, but just so you don't get it twisted. This podcast may kill you. Episode 20. What's going on? I hope you're doing well. It's glad you can join me today. I wanted to speak about a few things, very important things that have come to light recently in the media. I also wanted to talk about international football. It's International Week and it's England. Hurrah! What's going on, England? Eh? I mean, I don't want to bore you with that too much because international football it's a bit of a foregone conclusion, isn't it? Really, England will qualify. It's quite obvious. The groups are very poor until you get to the World Cup. That's when it starts getting to the nitty gritty. But I'll have my opinions on that. I'll also want to talk briefly about a few things that I have coming and also recent comments on my Twitter, trolling and all that, etc. Now, it's come to light today in regards to Sky Sports about online trolling, about players who have disabled their Twitter accounts, their Instagram accounts, and their Facebook accounts due to their online trolling. Now, bringing it back a few months ago, I've been speaking about this for a long time, and I spoke to Jason McAteer about it, about online trolling. I've spoken to other people about it. I've spoken to other, Twitter accounts, other celebrities, other people within the media about online trolling and the effects it has on someone. Now, when it comes to myself, I've had quite a bit, but I'm not a big channel. I have a few thousand followers, but I'm not a big channel like some people are. And when I think about the abuse that someone such as Thierry Henry must have received, it must have been a lot for him to delete his Twitter account and go off social media completely. Now, I've seen other players, Gareth Bale, etc., talking about this. But, the way I see it, the way online trolling is, I don't mind online trolling as long as it's not too personal. It's okay to have a bit of banter. But then there's a borderline of that. People like to take it to the next level and then the next level. And that's when people leave Twitter because of mental health or whatnot. And when I spoke to Jason McAteer, I reached out to Jason McAteer because I felt the online abuse was unacceptable. I went to Sky Sports, I went to BT Sports, I went to the BBC with this. But people keep turning a blind eye to it. It's only now that it's come into light that people want to talk about it. Now, because Sky are mentioning it, they want to talk about it. Now, we should have attacked this problem head on a long time ago. And I've been saying this for a very, very long time. Online trolling, online abuse is rife and it's growing and it's not acceptable. And I'm sorry, you cannot be on Twitter, and be trolling people, be trolling celebrities because they will leave Twitter and it will take the enjoyment out of it. Now, a few years ago, we're looking at 2008, whatnot. I joined Twitter. Under Sal Artem UK. It's on my biography. That's my personal account. I joined Twitter and I used Twitter as a platform to promote my music. At that time, we had the odd person, but trolling wasn't really a thing. We went around, we retweeted people, we supported people, we spoke to people. And even beyond that, before the realms of social media, I was on the street selling mixtapes with my brother. I sold 10,000 mixtapes on my walking the streets selling mixtapes, and this shows you that we have come into the realms of bitterness because people can now. It's too easy. Back in the day, it was not easy. It was not easy to get recognition. It wasn't easy to get on television. It was not easy, but we did it. And I went out there and I promoted the CD. I sold the CD. We sold the CD. We went around. We walked across London selling the CD with other artists as well. Nowadays, it's too easy for those trolls who you never would have come across otherwise because they haven't got the hustle. They haven't got the grind. Now you're coming across those trolls because it's too easy because you got your thumb and your phone, and you can just easily write something on there that can hurt someone's feelings. And the thing is, with that, you know, you can only push it so far. Now, someone like me who has been tweeted and tweeted and tweeted and tweeted, you know, for a long, long time, you know, and trolled for a long, long time, retaliate. And we are human beings, and when as human beings, we do retaliate sometimes, you know, and then the victim card is placed. Now this comes to me, and I've been thinking about it a long, long time. I've been thinking about it for a while. Twitter has become a place for the bitter, untalented troll, right? Now, with Twitter, you can fabricate a lot of things. You can fabricate views. You can fabricate retweets. You can fabricate likes. But on YouTube, it's done by IP address, right? So you look at my YouTube and my other YouTubes in my music, and you see the love. You can't make 1,000 YouTube accounts, you know, to hate on someone. So this is where it becomes an issue with Twitter, because there's been times I've reported things, and they've gone on, you know, deaf ears. They fell on deaf ears, and that's when it becomes dangerous, you see. And this is exactly what I was talking about with Jason McAteer, and I was telling him that, you know, people can control you. You can delete them, you can block them, but then they'll come back with a new Twitter page. That's the issue. There's no limit to how many you can have. You know, they don't really check, you know, and you got a lot of trolls online that are generally bitter people, because even when you supply them with the facts, they're still showing abuse online. Even if you show them the facts, even if you give it to them on a plate, here's the evidence, you know, here's the evidence. And then when you retaliate, you are in the wrong. And there's no surprise. It doesn't surprise me that people like Thierry Henry have deleted their account. It does not surprise me at all, because I can only imagine the amount of abuse he's been receiving. Now, when you think about our own players, Fred is a legend of Manchester United, mate. Right now, he's a player for Manchester United, mate. And he was getting racially abused, and other players are getting racially abused. Now, there's no coincidence in this, you know, that our fan base have an issue, and this fan base need to clear it up, because if it's not Pogba, it's not Tuanzebe, it's not Bailly, it's not Martial, you're targeting someone else. And it's becoming a problem in the Manchester United communities and fan base. It's becoming a real issue. A real issue. I've been to Old Trafford, God knows how many times, hundreds of times. And, you know, there has been moments, there has been sections of the crowd that are a little bit, you know, I wouldn't call them bigots, but they're more, you know, old school, and they're a bit ignorant when it comes to things like this. So they will always deny it to their dying day that it's not true. But it is. Our fan base have a problem, and that is a problem, right? And if you don't admit it, the problem cannot be fixed. All right. So that's me on that. In regards to you know, what I've seen on Sky Sports, I think it's good. Sky Sports are mentioning it now. I mentioned it a long time ago, and what they're waiting for is for something serious to happen, and then that's when they're going to start, you know, saying, bringing on all the you know, promotional, you know, schemes that they have on Sky, etc. The patronizing things that they bring up when it's already happened, and we've been talking about it for a long time. Now let's bring it back to the realms and a bit more positivity of international football. Right. In regards to Gareth Southgate, I've been watching England a long, long time. I used to go and see England play quite a lot at Wembley. I do not like the way England play. I think it's unnecessary. I think England have a very, very good attacking side. I think we are playing too defensive. I think we're sacrificing attacking players, the attacking talent that we have, to play more defensive style of football, which is wrong, I feel, because I think England have one of the best attacks in Europe, if not the world. I think if you've got Sancho, if you've got Greenwood, if you've got Rashford, if you've got Kane, if you've got Sterling, if you've got Foden, if you've got Mount, yeah, Saka, you've got these players coming through, these fantastic players that are going to be sacrificed because of the defensive style that Gareth Southgate plays. Now, remember in the World Cup, we had a problem on the right side of defense, on the right back position and on the right centre back position. It took Croatia half an hour to clock onto this, and then they started attacking from their left, our right, which is, and exposed the defense completely. Exposed Kyle Walker, exposed who was playing there was Kyle Walker and Trippier. Exposed them both because Kyle Walker's not our centre back, and Trippier, he's not the best defender in the world. Hence the reason he hasn't played for Atletico Madrid in a long, long time. Now, the comments made by Gareth Southgate, I felt were disappointing. I felt that the comments made by Gareth Southgate in regards to players who are playing on form will get picked. Well, this is a bit strange because Trippier hasn't played for Atletico Madrid in months. There's a few players in that team that are not playing well, and they're getting picked. Now, to drop Trent Alexander-Arnold and to drop certain players at a sixpence, and just to drop them like and I don't feel like it's acceptable. And I feel like Gareth Southgate needs to pull his finger out and he needs to start, playing players on form. Okay? And he needs to play players